Hi friends, I'm going to show you what we're going to do for creating our future career job spaces. Obviously this is hypothetical, so don't feel like, oh, like I don't know which career I want to do. Just pick one that you're interested in based on all the different research and projects and things we've talked about this year in career clusters and stuff like that. And you're going to basically create an office space that represents that career. Now, I know that a lot of us are going to choose careers that are not going to actually take place in an office. Um, don't get hung up on the office space idea, okay? That's fine. You can still put a tractor in your office, or if you're going to be a mechanic, you can still put those types of tools and things like that in your office space. So it doesn't actually have to look like an office, but it's just kind of part of like what we're doing in the slideshow, okay? So here are the directions. We've done research on our chosen careers. We did the infographics recently. You're going to create an office space that represents what your future career may look like, the things you would need in your space in order to effectively do your job. Okay, so you're going to make sure all those things are included in your office space. Keep in mind, even if you will likely not work in a typical office, you can still create the space to look however you would like. Use images and text to show all the necessary things you would need related to your career. And then I have the video that I'm showing you right now. And then I have the link to removing backgrounds from images, which I'm going to show you that in a second, okay? Here is my example. So yes, it did take a little while. And a lot of these things are stacked up on top of each other, but this is my example. You're going to first put which career you are focusing on, okay, on your slide. And you'll notice, like, here's Aaron's. I put your name on all of them. You can move that around, okay? You can cover up the door, whatever. You can change the flooring. You can do whatever you want. Just make sure I can see your name somewhere on it, and I can see the career somewhere on it as well, okay? So I decided to make mine kind of look like a classroom space, obviously, and some of the things that I would have with me. And then this is where I kind of broke down all the different requirements of my job, or things that I have to do in order to be successful, okay? So again, this is just an example. You can do it however you want, but you're going to input all those things into your office space as pictures. You can also insert text boxes and do some typing if you want, but when you're done, it should look like a room, okay? Again, even if you're going to be working outside on a construction site, that's okay. It can still look like a room of all that stuff, okay? Or if you want to add like trees or construction equipment or whatever on here, you totally can. That's up to you. So this link, I'm going to show you how I did this with how I got like things to not have a background. So see how my globe is just totally by itself. That way, if I wanted to put it on top of something else, I could. I'm going to show you how to do that. So I have the link to the site here. It's called Remove BG. So basically you're removing the background. If you click on that, this is what it looks like. Whoops. I'm trying to make my frame bigger here. It doesn't like me. It doesn't want me to do that. There we go. So remove image, background, whatever. You can just drag and drop an image here. So if I go to Google and I find an apple, I can just drag it over to the next tab and drop it in. Okay, you'll notice on my original one, it has like all these little squares behind it, and I don't want that. I just want it to be by itself. I don't know why it has that thing on the bottom. Maybe I'll use a different one. I don't know why it showed up like that. Maybe this apple. Let's say I don't want the white space around the apple, so I'm going to drag it over into that tab that I have open and drop it. And now it has removed all that white space. So then I'm going to click download, and if I click it, once it's downloaded, you'll see I have it with no white space. So I can save this, whether it's to like, or export it. I'll just export it to my desktop. But yours in your Chromebook will probably be in your downloads. And then I'll close it. And then I can go back to my workspace. And if I find it on my computer, I can just pull it in, okay? And then I can shrink it down. I can put it wherever I want. I can put it over the top of stuff, things like that. And that's how I got like the lamp by itself and stuff like that, is I just used Google Images, okay? So it's kind of cool. And obviously it looks way nicer. That's how you make like a room space that looks real versus having the white background in all your pictures. So use that tool. A couple of the images from Google might not work. Sometimes they come up as like an error, so you might have to use a different one. And that's okay. You'll just have to try a different one from Google. So we're going to work on our workspaces, okay, for 3 class days starting on a Friday, which I know is kind of hard sometimes when you're starting at home. But at least kind of get your career picked out. Maybe take some notes on what are things that I have to have in order to do this job successfully, because you might not know for sure, okay? We've done some career research, but we haven't necessarily looked specifically at job duties and things like that supplies you would need and whatnot. So you might have to look that up before you start your actual space, okay? Your rooms or offices or whatever you want to call them are going to be due on June 4th, okay? I will not be at school with you when you do this because I'm getting ready to have my baby. So they'll be due on June 4th. If you don't have your slide in here totally complete, when I check them on June 4th, I am not grading them, meaning like you will get a 0, okay? I cannot accept late work this close to when I have my baby because I won't be grading late work when I actually have her, okay? So keep that in mind, that due dates are a big deal for AVID right now because if you surpass it, you're not going to get a grade for that and it will just go in as a 0. Okay, so email me with any questions. Please don't change anyone else's slide. Please don't change my example slide. Just work on your own. We're 10th graders. I know we can handle that. So make sure you don't touch anyone else's slide because it takes a lot of work. Okay, have fun. Good luck. And email me if you have questions.